Hey there, Michael Douglas, Superintendent, Decatur City Schools. Wanted to take some time to address some of the questions that we've been getting. I just want to remind everybody that at the end of the document is a list of frequently asked questions. We've been trying to answer all of your questions. Continue to send those in, and obviously you can call your building level administrator. We have added some slides. We've colored them green, so you'll know that, hey, these are new. But basically, it's no new information, but it is kind of some clarifying information based on the questions we've been getting. All of them are in that instructional section. We are asking you by Monday to make your selection of virtual, blended, and traditional. So we felt like we needed to get out some information, some clarifying information, so that you can make the best decision for your family. I'm just going to walk you through those slides real quick. Like I said, these aren't anything new, but they are clarifying for you. All right, this slide right here, let me move. I just wanted to let everybody know that we are going to provide virtual for PreK, and we've put those time frames out there. I've got a lot of questions about the times. Basically, these are research-based, but I did want to point out the word core, particularly in the elementary, 90 minutes a day, that would be your reading and your math. The specials, the art, the music, those would be in addition to, but this would be your core instructional time. And I also wanted to point out that we're going to provide extension activities. If you're a parent that you want your child to do a little bit more, we can give you more. We want to be receptive to your child, but asking a child FaceTime in front of a computer without breaks and then going from one subject to the next, that's not very effective. At the secondary level, obviously they're going to work their schedule. It's just going to be amended in terms of the actual class time. But now these times don't include assignments or watching videos or doing supplementary activities. But these are minimum maximums in terms of sitting down at the computer. But at the secondary level, they're going to kind of work through their schedule. Just wanted to get that out there. Also, in terms of virtual instruction, pre-K through 5, you will get a lot of face-to-face, one-on-one with a teacher. As you go up and as you progress through high school, it becomes more and more independent. We still have teachers that are going to touch in and provide content, specific questions. But I did want you to know that you will have the teachers as a resource. At the elementary level, it'll be daily contact, less as you progress through the grade levels, because our upper level kids don't need quite as much support. Okay. We put this slide in, and the reason we put it in is we were getting a lot of questions about natural break and the phases. They have nothing to do with each other. The phases are when we could make adjustments or changes to the plan. The natural break that is addressed with blended and virtual. Virtual, remember, you can only come out of virtual at the end of a 9 weeks. And blended, you can only come out of blended back to traditional at the first natural break that's a 2-week minimum. Okay, and we put the dates on there, midterm and the end of the 9 weeks. What's the purpose of the 2 weeks? If week 8 of a 9 weeks, you wanted to transition from traditional to blended, in order to transition back, you would have to wait all the way till midterm, because that would not be a 2-week minimum. You can't go a week and then come back at the end of the 9 weeks. It has to be a 2-week minimum. And then please note, virtual and blended, there is no natural break. If you're going to virtual or blended, you can do that the next day. You just can't come back until either the 9-week or the midterm based on what you're doing. So we just wanted to clarify that. Next slide. We put this slide in. A lot of people are asking us the difference in the three, and we just kind of put this slide in to hopefully show you the differences in the three. And I want to point out this first question: can I leave traditional at any point I am uncomfortable or become sick? The answer is yes. But if you look at the response for traditional, a traditional student, you want to be in the classroom just because you think you've been exposed or possibly you've been infected. You do not have to transition to blended or virtual. You can keep your child at home for the 10 days, for 14 days, or until you feel comfortable sending your kid back to school. Now, you wouldn't receive any instruction. It would be like if you got mono or it became sick. We would provide you work at home like we would for any other student. But basically, as parents, you need to know, even if you're a traditional parent and you want to be in the building, if your comfort level, you don't have to necessarily go blended. You could keep your kid at home till you felt comfortable. We are asking, though, you're going to have to make contact with us and let us know, hey, I really don't want to go to the blended or virtual, but I kind of want to keep him home for a few days. The state is allowed for parents, due to the COVID concerns, if you'll notify us, that could be coded as parent withheld from school. So I just wanted to get that out there. That's something, we wanted to make sure that, regardless of virtual, blended, traditional, a parent still has a right to do what's best for their child. Next question: if I start virtual but decide it is not for me, when can I return or change to another instructional option? If you're full virtual, into the 9 weeks. And then obviously, if you want to go back to traditional, that can only occur at the end of 9 weeks. You chose blended. At what point can I move to a traditional or a virtual? Virtual anytime. If you want to go virtual or blended anytime, next day, you're there. If you want to come back into a traditional setting, the virtual is the 9 weeks. Blended, it is at midterm or the 9 weeks, and we've now put those dates out for you. Okay. What if my student goes blended a few days after school starts? Midterm would be the first date that you could go back to traditional if you wanted to, but you can go day 1, day 2, or any point in time. Okay. If my child chooses blended and you start at home, when could you come back into the school year? Basically, you're at home until midterm, and that would be the first date. So those of you that choose start day 1 virtual, midterm's your first date, you could come back. Those of you that you're in school the first day, you choose when you go blended, if ever. Okay? And then please know this: whether you choose blended or not, if you're traditional, you can change your mind at any point in time and you can say, hey, I want to go virtual or I want to go blended. So just know we've made this plan so that every parent can choose the option that's best for them. What is the difference between blended and virtual instruction? This is probably the question we've gotten the most. Virtual, if you will remember, you will be assigned a virtual-only teacher and a virtual school administrator. Once again, elementary students, you're going to get a lot of face-to-face, one-on-one. The more you go up, it's more support. They'll be checking in, still going to have a teacher assigned to you, but it'll be content specific. Blended, you stay with that classroom teacher. That classroom teacher that you were assigned to is still your teacher, but we're going to give you a support teacher, very similar to how we handle homebound. The classroom teacher still does the instruction in terms of uploading stuff to the internet. That support teacher is the one that helps you if you have a problem, because I'm not going to ask my classroom teacher to teach all day and then teach the blended kids at night. So basically, that's the difference. Virtual, you get a virtual teacher. Blended, you've got that classroom teacher that's making assignments, still grading papers. And then that blended teacher is making sure that when you return to the classroom, you're on the same page as everybody else. Can my student participate in extracurriculars regardless of your choice? Yes. Obviously, whatever that coach or that band director requires, you still have to meet those requirements in terms of, yes, you have to go to practice because extracurriculars, once again, are optional. Those are things you're choosing to do, but you have to meet all the requirements of that band director, coach, etc. But yes, regardless of choice, you get to participate. And then what if the entire district starts the school year virtually? We wanted to clarify that. If you choose virtual all year, it doesn't affect you. You're assigned a virtual teacher from day one. You just go. For the blended kid that starts in the classroom, that classroom teacher would become your virtual teacher. And for traditional students, the classroom teacher becomes your virtual teacher. So we just wanted to get those new slides out there. Obviously, please remember the frequently asked questions are in the back. Hopefully this is helpful. Once again, we knew we were going to get tons of questions. Please continue with those questions. The more questions we get cleared up between now and next week and then the next week, the better you're going to feel about making the best choices for your students. Please remember, Monday at noon is the deadline to make your selection of, hey, I want to start the year virtually, or I want to start it blended, either blended at home on the first day or blended at school the first day. And then our traditional students, we look forward to seeing you on August 12th. And certainly we hope by then that the levels have dropped. I hope you guys are being safe, wearing your mask so that we can get that level down so that we can have face-to-face school. Thank you.